How's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of Crossout Clan Wars. I hope you all are having an amazing day, because I surely have some amazing games for you. Brought back the Reaper, gave it a nice upgrade. I fused my Steppy Spider cabin to get that extra weight on it. The Steppy Spider is basically a heavy cabin with 12 energy as soon as you get that fused cabin. So, guys, if you have the money, save them. If you like playing spiders, go ahead, save the money to buy 2 extra Steppy Spider cabins and fuse. Hopefully you'll get the holo in the first one for extra mass limit. But anyways, the Reaper is back. The main reason I'm bringing it back is because of the massive amounts of dogs that we've seen at this rating right now. But yeah, we didn't really face a lot of dogs while I was playing the Reaper, to be honest. So I have something else for you instead. First game here versus Chet. They have a Mandrake, so you know the drill. We always push in when they have a Mandrake. The engage here was a bit of an issue because we kind of pushed into their direction. They have a Mandrake with 2 porcupines, so we don't really want to go straight on into them, but we ended up doing that a little bit anyway. So I just decided, you know, to cut a corner here and go behind them, which worked surprisingly well. They for a brief moment turned towards me, especially in the Mandrake, but that didn't really help them out all that much. And then they turn for Corby because he is all in there, and that literally just gives me a free play. Look at that, I can deal so much damage. I'm just sitting here in the background just shooting at them, don't really, just minding my own business, which is, you don't want to give a Reaper this much room, because then he can chew through all of them with some serious damage. And as you can tell, that's literally just all that's happening. Like, it's madness. It's really just madness. And a nice little cleanup here and a lovely first round. Like, this was a ton of fun to you know, just push in with Reapers, just get the room you need in order to just sit there and deal that massive amount of damage. I mean, I'll take that any day. I'll take that any day. But now here, moving on to the second round. The second round, we sort of like made the mistake that we almost made in the first round. Probably just a cause of miscommunication. But basically what we're doing here is we're pushing in on them again. They're just sitting at one ramp. Chet often when we face them, they really camp when they have a Mandrake, as in they really camp. They utilize their cap cans and then they just sit far back in a choke point and they wait for people to engage them. And I mean, it's their strategy, it's fine, so it is what it is. We're just gonna push in on them, we're just not gonna go the way they want us to go, but sadly that's what we did in this round, and that's why we got fully messed up here in the second round. Like, you can see for yourself while we're moving in why this went so bad, because they have cap canned up this entire ramp and they've thrown porcupines there too. I'm just trying to step back down as much as I can because Colby's in there, so we have to go help him. But I kind of just want to, you know, stay out of line from the cap cans and the porcupines too. So slowly pushing down while the porcupines are getting, you know, running out of time. So the ramp is actually cleared, but they're throwing porcupines up here again. I'm too slow to move out. Got a bit cockblocked there by our Helios helper, so it is what it is. Like, we got destroyed here. I also forgot to detach my ammo boxes. Had I detached my ammo boxes, I wouldn't have popped. I should have remembered to do so. It was my mistake, and it is what it is. And that's why I have those rift modules on there, to purge my ammo boxes if I ever get in trouble where I don't really want them anymore, because I'll die from them. But it is what it is. Moving on to the third round here. Just a quick little tip, if you don't know already, look up into the sky if you're facing a Mandrake. That will save you a bunch of trouble. So I'm pushing in here again. I'm currently just trying to soak some damage because I have a ton of ammo, so I have some to spare, so to say, because I just want to give room for the dog and stuff to push in. And if I can direct the fire towards me, then we will give plenty of room for the Helios hover and for the dog to push in. The Helios hover in this situation is a bit too defensive, but we talked about it afterwards. He's somewhat new to the clan, so he still has to get used to all of our pushing tactics. So there's always some things you have to get used to when you're playing with new guys, but as you can see, he got up there so fine. So now I have a lot of room to just shoot at them again. I'm getting focused so much more this time, but that just left a lot of room for the rest of the team to push in. Again, we sort of, like, we should have, the dog and the Helios, in my personal opinion, and I tried instructing this, but they should have waited for the engage. They should have let me and Exilla, you know, just take the initial hits until we had them repositioned, because as you can see, they are falling back. So I kind of would have just wanted them to wait just a few seconds until me and Rinsey had pushed them away, because that would mean that there wasn't going to be, what am I trying to say here, that there wouldn't be Capcanes all over and there wouldn't be Porcupines all over. So, but as you can see, it ended all right anyways. Rinsey and Nanook, they sort of, you know, cleaned up whatever was left of the mess, and we ended up winning that round really nicely. So a very good first match. And the second one here versus 16k is also super interesting. The strategy here is that I wanted to do is just to, you know, lure those hovers in, because once you get to a certain point, yes, they are faster than you, but if you get them close enough, a Reaper can chew through a hover in seconds. And you will see what I mean later on. I just, you know, sort of fast forwarded a bit of the footage here, just made a cut in order to get to the exciting part, so to say. But here, that when they're coming in closer and Colby said that he's gonna go in, we're just slowly pushing into them, because now they're distracted, so we can gain some room on them, and hopefully not have them escape from us too much. And I decided to just go for the spider here. See how easily I took off one of his guns, and then here comes the second one, just trying to degun him. I'm tanking a lot of shots, so I just want him degun and then get out of there, which luckily I did. And there we go, a cannon hover literally right next to us, so why not just go for him? And see what I mean about just chewing through him? Look at that, he literally can't do anything about it, because we're just stripping off his hovers, we're stripping off everything, and he fell into Rinsey's porcupine, and that was it for him. So we have the Scorpion left and the cannon hover, and the Scorpion hover gets a bit too close to us here. So see, now I'm onto him, and those 150 damage a second or even more is something no hover can survive, because they are to some extent quite squishy still. So once we've beaten him up badly, which he is now, I just decided to break off, because I figured that those two wow, I can't speak today, that those two could handle him. So I'm just gonna go for the cannon hover and put some pressure on him instead. I had the HP to tank him for some time, so I had no issues going for him. And honestly, it was quite funny, you know, just challenge your hover's heads first, so why wouldn't I go do that? And Rinsey could just slowly clean up the Scorpion hover over there, which he did. But now the cannon hover actually turns towards Rinsey. I didn't really see this. I thought he was just going to jerk around this one, but he actually went for Rinsey. So luckily I'm already moving over there, but he does cause Rinsey some problems. But once again, I'm just closing in the gap here on the hover while shooting him down. And watch what happens when I actually get close to him. This really just shows how easily the Reaper can actually strip weapons off of people. He has the gun smoking, but I mean, just look at that. When you get this close, the precision is not to mess with, and you can easily take off his weapons. So he's degunned, and that pretty much sums up the first round. So moving on to the second round. The reason that I also brought in this game, besides we just had some really awesome pushes, is because once again you can see how we mess up in this second round, because this is actually another best of 3 game, because we kind of mess it up. Watch the minimap down there on the right side, and you can see how we're spreading out. Like, this is a legit strategy that we're usually using, just to make sure that, especially versus hovers, that they don't take too much ground. But we should have just been more, you know, supportive of each other. We were a bit slow when it comes to rotating around the map, especially me here in the second round, and that was probably partially the reason why we actually lost this. I'm drawing some attention to me, which is fine, which gave Colby some room to engage, but he also goes for the engage. They partially see that he's over there though, so it ends up being a bit of an issue, and I want to go over there, but at the same time I have the Cyclone Spider over here. I know that for a fact that I can 1v1 him, so I'm hesitating a bit, because I kind of want to fight him, but that just results in me getting over there to the fight way too late, and it becomes a big issue for me to actually help the team as much as I wanted. But on another note, and I can't say already now that we lost this, want you guys to enjoy the fight that I'm about to take with one of their cannon hovers in a second, because it was freaking amazing. Like, it was it was so hilarious. I was trying to utilize the armor that I had left in order to just fight him, and he was really, you know, just focused on hitting my cabin, so that resulted in a pretty hilarious situation where he missed a lot of shots on me. And like, just because he was constantly trying, and I rammed him and stuff, which is also one thing. It's so freaking funny to ram hovers if you are a spider, because you're this massive amount of armor and scrap metal and junk, and you're very heavy. So when you ram into a hover, you can literally push him all over, and you're actually ramming. You shouldn't underestimate ramming with spiders onto hovers. If you get a good hit, you can literally deframe people entirely just by ramming them as a hover, as a spider onto a hover. So it's a legit strat. But just enjoy this funny little sequence before we lose the second round. So honestly, not really close there in the second round. But that just brings us back to the third round. And I mean, I'm having fun in these matches. I'm honestly just having fun. And that's the thing that is a bit of a struggle in this game right now. But we're back to just a big of a variety into what builds people bring in and what is considered meta builds. So it's really nice to see people experimenting with different stuff instead of just having full cannon hovers and nothing else. I'm honestly unsure what happened since this sort of shift into new stuff happened. I know a lot of people started running dogs because of the massive amount of hovers. Dogs are, after all, the best counted 2 hovers, especially if people don't use the Oculus, which a lot of people for some reason don't. But I feel like we've seen a bunch of different stuff all of a sudden. Like, we've seen fortune spiders again, we've seen cyclone spiders, cyclone hovers. I mean, I enjoy it. I surely enjoy it, but it's just weird what has caused this shift into new builds. I can't really figure. But nevertheless, pushing in again, and honestly, this was an exciting push. We got in on them perfect, like we wanted to, you know, just push into them. I get the cap can up over there, get a really good cap can on that dude. And then it's just about closing in the gap on them again. And I'm just trying to aim here for his hovers until I get close enough to actually shoot his cabin. But the reason that I'm just shooting for those hovers, because if you can get those back hovers off, cannons, especially that setup, can't do anything, because he will be pointing up into the air and that will just fully mess him up. But I mean, just look at the pressure you can put on them with the Reapers. It is so insane. Like, it's really good. But at this point, it's a 4 versus 1. So we're just trying to swarm him in a way that will, you know, just close in on him fully so he has nowhere to go. It's the easiest thing to do with hovers because they are super maneuverable. So you wanna sort of swarm them so they can't escape. But a nice second game there. I want to let you guys just enjoy the final game here versus LTU. You didn't see the full setup, but they have 3 melees and a Helios hover. And they are pushing in on us. And another awesome game. I really enjoyed this game. Like, it was just, there was some, my aim was actually pretty good for once, just to say something, you know. So I really enjoyed this match versus them. So guys, I'll let you enjoy it too, and cut my voice over here so you can just enjoy the rest of the game with the actual in-game chat. But thank you so much for showing up to yet another Clan Wars video, the Reaper this time. Guys, let me know if you want to see more of this build, and do let me know what you want to see in general for Clan Wars builds. I'm open to most, so if there's anything you are thinking of, just post it down below in the comments. Until next time, have an awesome day, guys. Bye bye.
Sacrificing is not a bad thing when they mind everything else. That is my job usually.
How's this guy sideways? Oh, they have it. What? Keep moving backwards. Fight them over here.
They're coming.
We have a good choke point here.
Oh, no. Isabella left of you. Manu, ram the Jukas. Ram the over. Ram it. Keep ramming it. It's the last.